Don't let your eyes deceive you.
We dressed up. Raise your hand if you wore a little outfit. You did? Can I see? Can you stand for me, please? Oh my God, I'm not picking on you, okay? I'm only talking to you in front of everybody. Don't worry. Look at that gorgeous ribbon. Thank God. Hello. Hi, nice to meet you. What's your name? It's okay if you don't have one. Sarah, hi. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Lucyana, all right? I'm Lucyana, and that's Lucyana, please. And I beg of you, please don't go forgetting that, okay? Because sometimes, right, I'll introduce myself to some, like, random suckerfish. And I'll say, my name is Lucyana, lovely to meet you. And they'll sort of take that as license to just sort of drop 2 syllables, refer to me as the diminutive Lucy. And I find this very bizarre because to me there is such a gulf between those 2 names, right? Lucy, Lucyana, like those are 2 different people. You know, like Lucy, that's a villager. Like Lucy, that's a, like off the rack, that's a girl. Like Lucyana, like, ooh, that's a fucking woman. like Lucyana, that's like chaotic, that's couture, that's a force, right? Does this make sense? Right? Like, if I can illustrate with a few examples, like Lucy would just like take the bus somewhere. Lucyana doesn't know about the bus. Lucyana has to get somewhere. Okay, she just invents a new form of quantum travel using only a spoonful of caviar and intense belief in the power of mantra. Like Lucy, one of her breasts is much bigger than the other. Okay, points straight down. Looks like she's been nursing for 26 years. Lucyana. Well, same problem, huh? But, okay, it's because that titty's full of treasure. A girl's gotta keep her rubies somewhere, and Joe Biden can't audit a bra. Like, Lucy is the name of just like some bitch you work with, right? Lucyana doesn't have a job, okay? She's busy. Lucyana is constantly en route to a masked charity ball where she'll be like whisked away by a mysterious duke for an erotically charged tango. Like, they are different, okay? Lucy is one of those fucking peanut kids. Is that what I'm giving to you? Is that what I'm giving? Just like fucking gaslighting my special needs neighbor and his fucked up little dog, okay? Shilling unlicensed psychiatric advice on the side of the road, throwing myself at a clearly uninterested keyboard player. All right? Like putting my full weight on his little piano. I don't think so, Schroeder. Okay, I rebuke that. I reject that. I am Lucyana. Thank you. And yeah, thank you. And the thing is, I feel like sometimes I talk about this and people are thinking like, okay, that's a bit much. You're getting a little riled up over a few syllables. Like, and first of all, like, welcome to my show. My name's Lucyana. I am riled up, okay? I am a bit much. And second of all, in my mind, like, if you think this is just like about a nickname, you don't fully understand how to inhabit your own life. Like, specificity matters. That's why I care, okay? Like, ring, ring, hello, it's the devil. I'm in the details. You have to like personalize your life. You have to like have the balls to make a choice, okay? Like every time you go to a Pret-a-Manger and you pick up like a prefab keto bowl, you just like, you debase the miracles of your secret interiority. Personally speaking, that's what I think. Okay, you've got to make your mark, you've got to make a choice. Like every time you shop the head to toe look at the Urban Outfitters contactless curbside pickup kiosk, okay, you spit in the face of everything Cher has tried to do for us. Okay? You have to customize your build. There's a reason that humanity has been obsessed with tattoos since the dawn of time. All right, it's that you just like you have to make a choice, and like, I mean, I think that like 99% of people's tattoos are like stupid and hideous, but that's not important. I respect the concept of tattoos writ large because, and here's the thing also. I feel like I don't understand this thing of when like having a lot of tattoos like supposedly like makes it very difficult to get a job or whatever. Because like when I see someone with a lot of tattoos, I never think like, what a degenerate. I think like, wow, there is a guy who makes a lot of appointments and shows up to all of them on time, and someone who understands that you gotta pick who the fuck you are, okay? Specificity matters. And I know this because I am pathologically specific. I am pathologically specific. I am someone where, like, I mean, you can call it what you want, right? Like a bizarrely encyclopedic form of narcissism, huge delusions of intellectual grandeur. I don't think of it that way. I prefer to think of it as that I have fucking style, all right? I have taste. And you know how vanishingly rare that is these days? Taste?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
These people. And, you know, taste to me just means that, like, I have made it my business to know exactly what I think about every single thing I've ever encountered and why, to a degree that some haters and losers, like, find exhausting. But I feel like it's just, like, the bare minimum for being a person, right? Like, you have to, like, have a fucking opinion. I have so many opinions, they fall out of my mouth like beautiful rocks. Like I could do it about, what's an opinion I have? Oh, yeah, okay, you know what? I think that Patti Smith has thin privilege. And then you know what? I didn't know I thought that until this exact second. And I'm thinking about it and I really think I'm right, okay? I think the night would not have belonged to us if she had to shop at ASOS Curve. See, you have to have an opinion. That is what taste is about, okay? Cultivating an inner ecosystem, like having just like a structure for yourself built out of everything you've ever thought, you know? And in my mind, like, here's the thing, it's like, where do you start? Like, how do you process just like the onslaught of raw input the world inflicts on you? And my thing is like, it works top down. You gotta have a system. All right, you need a sort of like, it starts with designation, okay? And in my mind, here's the way to do it. It starts with broad strokes, 3 categories. Everything under the sun can be sorted into 3 categories. The exquisite, the abject, and the opaque. Are you following? The exquisite, the abject, and the opaque. And the reason for this is that reality on its most fundamental level is ordered in 3s. Okay, this is true. Anyone who's trying to sell you on like an on, off, yes or no, one or the other, like polarity, binary, whatever, is stupid, stupid, stupid. Okay? Reality is ordered in 3s. Like STEM people with this binary thing, like all their X's and O's, like in my mind, I'm like, there's a reason there are 0 winners in tic-tac-toe. Like, sorry, Sheldon, bazinga. So yes, the exquisite, the abject, the opaque. This is true. It's always 3, okay? Like red light, yellow light, green light, mind, body, soul, Angelina, Brad, Jennifer, fuck, marry, kill, Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. Like, this is how we have organized the world. And for me, like, so, I mean, I'll break it down. Like, the opaque, first of all, that is the pile where I put everything that, despite my incredible powers of perception, is still just sort of like inaccessible to me. That's sort of like, I'll do it later pile. With things like to me, organized sports, people who play organized sports for fun. What do they know that I don't? You know, I was at the park recently and I saw all these people like playing volleyball, and I guess it's winter, so when I say recently, I do mean August. But it stuck with me, clearly. I was at the park and all these people were playing volleyball, and first of all, they like all knew the rules, which is like, I don't know if there was like a memo sent out, they had like a huddle, couldn't be me. And second of all, they were all just like, they were like having like so much fun. I don't know. Maybe it's inaccessible because, like, you look at me, you immediately know, like, I was born clutching a doctor's note of dubious origin that said I didn't have to participate in any gym class ever because of my incredibly low blood pressure, you know? And so maybe I just, like, never learned what they did. I have played one game. I'm gonna level with you. I played one game of organized sports in my life due to a toxic but ultimately well-meaning gym teacher. It was called what was it? Soccer, something ugly like that. Basically, what happened? He walked me down to the field, and I saw all these children running around for free. And I just said, like, I was like, you know what, Mr. Bully, I don't know what kind of grift you are running on these suckers, but couldn't be me. I have a copy of British Vogue to get back to. Turned heel, went home. Organized sports, just opaque to me. Or like, you know what else is opaque? Music. It's fine, I like it, but like, I don't know how they're thinking of it. So that's the opaque, and then of course you move to the abject, right? The abject, and you know that when you see it, it's hell. It's just like, it's a pair of crusty Toms and a New Yorker tote bag, right? It is the smell of a Burger King. It is Marcel serving Padma Lakshmi yet another edible foam on Top Chef All Stars New York. It's disgusting. It's base. It's vile. You know, it's Anna Kendrick.
I love that.
You know, I do too. It is using your phone. It is using your phone in the bathroom. Using your phone in the toilet? Are you kidding me? Like, what feels worse? Okay, just like hunched, half nude, slack jawed, just like pawing at a filthy pane of glass, like you're a fucking captive ape. The researchers just handed a mirror for the first time, just like gazing dumbly at like this thing that you have no idea is just your reflection, while shit just falls out of you. Like, abject. I can't do it. I hate it. That's how you stop using your phone, is you only use it in the bathroom. You would be surprised how quickly you start to associate it with something awful. So that's the object. And then, the fun one, the exquisite. Again, you know it when you see it. It's like beauty, it's art, it's Botticelli, it's Caravaggio, it's a doll with a very human longing in its eyes. It's, oh my God, it is Jen Carroll screaming at the judges panel on Top Chef All-Stars New York and storming out. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's like, you know it when you see it, is what I'm saying. And so now you kind of understand, like, this is a tool. It's about context, it's very malleable, but in my mind, you need three. You need that third heat, okay? Two opposing forces and a mystery. That is very important. And it's very malleable. It is about context. Like, some things can be all three. Okay, exquisite, abject, and opaque. Melania Trump. Oh my God. I don't really care, do you? Do we remember that? I feel like this is like maybe niche. Do you remember when she wore that jacket? Right? At the most fucked up possible time she ever could have worn it. And what I love, that jacket is from Zara, and it will be in a museum one day. And Zara, I mean, abject. Fast fashion, abject. We got like Zara, abject, Urban Outfitters, abject, H&M, abject, Forever 21, so abject it actually circles back around to being exquisite. I don't know if you've ever been at any given Forever 21 right before it closes, but it is like, if I walked into it, I would just never leave. Like, I went to the Union Square Forever 21 like 2 days before it closed forever, and I walked in and I was like, this is heaven. This is like the most chaotic energy I've ever experienced. Like, just like chaos. Like one white tank top with a bloody footprint on it. Like, every mannequin defiled in ways you couldn't think a mannequin could be defiled. Just sort of like all you can hear is this like high-pitched keening noise, and you can't identify it until you see it's a catatonic security guard in the corner, right? Oh, I love it. It's like so beautiful. I mean, I love to shop at a real-life store. I'm so glad we can again, because shopping at a store, shopping is exquisite to me. Like, like remaking the self in the damaged home goods aisle of a TJ Maxx. Are you kidding? I love to shop, and some people are like, but capitalism, and I'm like, I get it, but to me, like, humanity hunts and gathers. This is very true, and I feel no stronger connection to my primitive ancestry than I am like just like militantly perusing the directory of an outlet mall, like making a plan, you know? It's about the kill. It's about like the eye alighting on a strange hat and knowing you would be someone different if you put it on. Like, and I'm not talking about buying things, okay? Buying, abject. Like, buying, like you buy something, like, I don't know why you need to bring money into this, because like you buy something, it's to fill a void, okay? It's like an unfillable void. Like, shopping is an act of imagination, right? Like, we shop to become, we buy to like feel okay. You know, I don't like that. I don't like that. Shopping is exquisite to me, and so now we're starting to understand, like, you can go through almost anything this way. You can cut down vast swaths of information at like roughly 5 times the speed of like a normal healthy person. Or like, so here we go, horses. Abject. Oh, and this is, first of all, this is not a take on horse girls, okay? Leave those freaky bitches alone. It is not their fault they were awakened sexually by a particularly vigorous gallop, okay? Have you ever ridden a horse? Like, try humping a pillow after that, see if it stood up to what you felt in that saddle. It won't. No, my problem lies with the beast itself, and part of that is that they are so opaque to me, it's abject. Like, have you ever like looked a horse in the eyes? Arresting. Like, soulful. Like, they know something. Like, there is no world in which I can accept the idea that a horse, here's the thing, you look at a horse, you know immediately it can talk and is choosing not to, okay? They know something. Horses are crazy animals. Like, I would rather be locked in like a dark room with a deadly snake than a horse, because like at least I'm like very confident the snake isn't smart enough to be seeking revenge, and I cannot say the same for Seabiscuit, you know? I mean, like, after all we've done to them, like, what other animal are we so casual about having to thoroughly break just to hang out with? Like, you don't have to take like a riding crop to a Shih Tzu to get it to sit. Like, that's my angle on this. Like, abject, like run them out of town. Or like, what else? Oh my God, French teachers? Absolutely no. Because first of all, like French, a language that could die tomorrow. Can't think of a single meaningful way my life would change. You know, like French to me, a very decorative language. It's like the fondant of languages. It's like, it's good for like being horny or interesting, like sounding interesting even if you're not, and that's it. Like, okay, absolument. Absolument non. Je ne sais quoi, je ne sais pas, déjà vu, jamais vu, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Oui, monsieur, that's all the French you need to know. Okay? I just taught you all the French you'll ever need to know, and I didn't go and make it my whole fucking life's work. Because if you teach French, if you teach high school French, your life's work amounts mostly to just like giving a bunch of musical theater students like license to imagine a European lifestyle. And we don't need more of that in this country, okay, in this frayed nation. Okay, like all you're doing is just like standing in front of like 30 children who just butchered a junior production of Rent, letting them put airs on for a grade. Like, here's the thing about French, teaching French, I'm like, we don't need anyone else like me in the world. And I did not even take French, okay? Like, can you imagine if I had? Like, intolerable. I would be awful. Ugh, like, don't teach it. Okay, what I think we should teach in schools, right? Esperanto. Do we know what Esperanto is in this room? Okay, one. Okay, that's fine. Most people don't, and even if they do, when I tell them I learned it, they go, why? And if you don't know what Esperanto is, it is a language a guy just like made up in his head. And sort of like Klingon or whatever. I think I'm saying it wrong. But like unlike that language, that like Star Trek thing, whereas like nerds just made that up to like feel important and like fill their days. Esperanto is a language that a nerd made up to save the world. Esperanto is a language where like in the 1880s, this one like very optimistic Polish eye doctor like went into his room, closed the door, and was like, I'm going to make a language that will unite the brotherhood of man and achieve world peace. And I really wish it had worked because Esperanto is so amazing to me. Because like basically what I love is like this guy, like on the off chance that if he could get everyone in the world to speak his language, he could achieve like a situation where everyone is like, where everyone can actually speak to each other on a level playing field without the like inherent power imbalance of like one native speaker and one non-native speaker. Like, and I love the idea of just like these beautiful aspirations. This guy being like, I truly believe that I can spiritually unify everybody if I can just like create a language that allows us to not like eliminate or flatten cultural nuance, but in fact make us able to speak to one another like an act of speech that truly makes sense in a world that is built of language. And he went and he put his whole pussy into it. And he did it. He came out of his room and he was like, I did it! And what he had just sounds like dumb Polish. Like, listen, like, kuleroin estaj pli belaj ol shorkain. Spoons are more beautiful than forks. And you know what? Ain't that the truth? Esperanto is exquisite. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. I love language. I love the act of expression. I think is so sacred. But sometimes I wonder, I have to think, like, do you think, like, when God first, like, shoved his tongue into Adam's mouth, right? Gave mankind the gift of speech. He knew how much, like, erotic fan fiction we would use it for. Because I have to think that if he did, he might have thought twice. He might have thought twice. Because, like, here's the thing. There is, like, the scope of fan fiction is staggering to me. And I'm not saying, like, I'm out here writing it. Like, my interest in it is very anthropological, you know? Like, I've spent a lot of time lurking fanfiction.net, like, sort of like Jane Goodall, like, peering through the leaves of the jungle at the acts of the chimpanzees, you know? But what it is like, you know what, like, if you Google longest book ever written, right, Google will give you the CIA answer, which is Marcel Proust in Search of Lost Time, which clocks in at about 1.2 million words. But if I can just like let you guys know what the establishment doesn't want you to know, the longest work of fiction ever written is a 4.1 million words Super Smash Brothers fan fiction that a Mexican teenager wrote while he tried to improve his English. Right? Yes, this deserves a clap. Like, yes, that's astonishing. That's amazing. Like, and what I love about it is like, okay, like every creative person in Brooklyn that I know, a lot of you are here tonight, right? So you'll relate. Just like walking around all day being like, I want to finish my screenplay, but I'm so tired and it's so hard. And then like somewhere in Ohio, there's a teenager who is taking 6 AP classes and still making time to bang out 4,000 words a week about like Draco Malfoy rimming Harry Potter in the Room of Requirement. You would be shocked. You would be shocked at the things these Hogwarts kids get up to online. Okay, the places those wands go. Like, fan fiction is everywhere, and none of us know how deep the rabbit hole goes. And I'm not, you know what, this is one of the few things in the world that I feel like it's not my place to say if it's a net good or net bad for society. I am just saying it is happening online. The internet has made something like this possible, okay? More people have engaged with like certain pieces of Harry Potter fan fiction than have ever read War and Peace. The internet made it possible, and I find the internet very complicated, as we all know. A baseline, abject, you know. Here's the thing, is like, honestly, I think it's going to go down in our lifetimes, you know? I think we've tasted the fruits of digital paradise, soon we'll be cast from the garden. I don't know how it's going to happen. I think my personal theory is it's going to be like a devastating geologic event on the West Coast, right? They've been saying it's going to happen for years. It hasn't happened yet, but you know what? The margin of error in geology is hundreds of years, not decades. I think a devastating geologic event on the West Coast causes a backlash tsunami that hits Beijing, knocks out servers on both sides, and all of a sudden, then all it takes is like one crustacean that's developed a taste for metal to chew through a couple cables, and we're fucked. Okay, it's gonna be anarchy. That's the apocalypse scenario. We've structured our entire society around the internet, and some might say like, oh, what about satellite? I'm sorry, if you don't think Elon Musk is gonna direct it to Mars immediately, you're fucked. Like, and so it's gonna be like anarchy. It's gonna be like a scenario where it's like every man for himself, and my problem is that I have no place in a survival scenario. Look at me, like I'm good for meat, if that. Like, I would not taste good. I have so many chemicals in my body, like it's unlikely you could eat me without getting very sick. So it's like, what I think a lot about, like, especially nowadays, like, what could I bring to the table in that kind of scenario? Someone listening to music? It might be me back there. It's fine. What do I bring to the table? Here's my thing. This is why I've been printing out Wikipedia in my spare time, right? Laminating it, okay? Because if I can sort of garner a position as the keeper of knowledge, like if I can be the new Google, not only will I be useful, I might be elevated to like the status of God, you know? And I like that idea. I like the idea of being able to curate what we know. I love Wikipedia. I think Wikipedia is the single thing that like fully redeems the internet experiment. Like, I think that Wikipedia is exquisite. It is so noble. I can think of like no other instance in which humanity has put like the good of collective knowledge ahead of wealth or personal glory, right? Like, it's like the Library of Alexandria on a scale that would give Aristotle a fucking coronary. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. Like, go home, read the Wikipedia article on how you can start contributing to Wikipedia, and tell me you don't feel a flicker in your dying ember of hope for humanity. Like, it's beautiful. It's just like a garden of dork supremacy. It's like this amazing thing where, and what bothers me is that it's like millions of anonymous contributors have collectively contributed billions of their hours of their time to, you know, like just like indexing, like making sense of the world together, and we take it for granted. And you know why? It's because we are so busy looking at porn online. All right? It's all we think the internet's good for. We do not acknowledge what a gift we've been given. And I have a problem with that because I just think porn is like the most boring thing in the world. I think porn is so dull. I have the same problem with porn that I do with podcasts, where like, I hate to sit there and passively consume content where people are just doing something I could do better, you know? Like, I'm not in the porn, why would I watch it, you know? I just like, I have this thing of like, I find porn dull, I think also because I find masturbating to be kind of dull overall. Mm-hmm. Like, I like sex. Sex is fantastic. I think it's here to stay. Because sex is a conversation, right? It's like there's a spirit of collaboration there. Like, I need to, like, someone to bounce ideas off of. Like, masturbation is like, there's no stakes there. There's like nothing new under the sun with masturbating. And I just feel like first of all, like, I think that orgasms are the least interesting part of sex, and that's the only thing masturbating is good for. right? Like, I love to fake an orgasm, personally. I fake an orgasm every time I masturbate. Because, and I would never fake an orgasm during sex because the last thing I believe in is rewarding bad behavior to soothe someone else's ego, okay? I think that orgasms are common, okay? Scarcity is what defines value, right? Like, ding dong, like diamonds, okay? We crank out orgasms by the million. Like, it's like they're Netflix originals, okay? There is no stakes there. There is nothing valuable about an orgasm. And faking one is an intellectual exercise, right? Like, don't you want to know how you want to come? Like, I love it. And obviously I do masturbate. Like, I do it. Like, I am only human. But I don't watch porn. I prefer to sort of like go inward, mine my own rich interior world for material. So I have a very rich fantasy life. You know, I fantasize. I have a couple I go to. Lately it's been this one where like, okay, I am in a sparse but well-appointed master bedroom. Okay, and there is also a hockey player here. And he is taller than me, but not smarter than me. But taller is important because I have honestly always wanted to know what it feels like to be a small woman. And he's tucking me into bed. He's like smoothing the coverlet. I can feel his like hot Slim Jim tinged breath on my neck. And he leans down and he whispers into my seashell-shaped ear. He goes, "You're not annoying. You don't exhaust me." And then he leaves. He just leaves. I love that one. Or, this is a good one. Like, okay. Listen. I am taking a long walk down a foggy gray beach. I walk and I walk and I walk until I encounter a small wooden hut. Now, inside this hut is a wizened old washerwoman who does not speak, but instead beckons me to the hearth and hands me a worn wooden bowl and has me drink of this like bitter, nourishing broth. And then all of a sudden, my hair is so long. Okay? It is thick. It is so healthy. It's not breaking off due to home bleaching scenarios. I love that one. And like, I feel like these all they go very far. I feel like I fantasize in and out of the bedroom. Like, one that I've been really enjoying when I have to like wait in a line or whatever recently is the fantasy of being like a chaotic ex-wife. Look at me. Wasn't I born to do that? Right? Just like picture it. Like, you're like lying asleep in bed next to your new wife / our ex-au pair. And then suddenly you awake in a cold sweat, and you know why? It's because I'm standing over you. I have like a cunty Chanel power suit, a severe bob. I have our wedding photo in one hand and in the other, a knife. Okay? That is like, that's so fab to me. I would love to be that. Like, just like showing up late to like our daughter's graduation, just like stinking of sherry and Tom Ford Orchid. I love that. I could mine this fantasy forever. It's so incredible. Like, just like chewing scenery at her wedding, like making an absolute meal of the reading of my ex-husband's will. Like, it would be so good to me. And the only problem is that to be an ex-wife, you sort of have to like get someone to make you a wife, and I don't like relationships. I love first dates. Like, don't get me wrong, I think a first date is so fun, but like every subsequent date makes it worse. Like, I love a first date because I love to meet new people. Like, I feel like it's a gotta catch 'em all situation where every first date just like allows me to like add to my ever-growing taxonomy of guys. You see a lot of the same kind of guy, like especially on apps. Like, a majority of the dating pool in terms of men is what I like to think of as like the Dasani water of people, right? Bad taste. They're all sourced from like a super fun site in New Jersey. And like, if you're putting your mouth on one, it's because you're incredibly thirsty and there were zero other options. Right? Yeah. That kind of guy, it's like, we know him. We all know him. It's the kind of guy who wouldn't dream of taking the hollow seal of authenticity off his snapback. That kind of guy, or like a cousin of that guy, is like a nerd who doesn't know he's a nerd because he has such visible big dick energy that no one ever told him his interests sucked. Right? Very easy to identify. All you look for is like a guy over 6 feet leaning over a woman at a house party explaining his H.P. Lovecraft themed tabletop RPG.
Oh, God.
And she looks interested. But it's not because she cares about his miniatures, okay? It is because she is wondering how big the Poland Springs bottle between his legs are and like whether that shit got a sport cap, you know? that's like that's like sort of like related but different. And the reason I am so familiar with this kind of guy is because I have tangoed with him before. Okay, they're deceptive. Like I have spent so much time being like, please, old gods, like send me a nice person who does not care about comedy, someone who's not angry like everybody in comedy, and they'll deliver, right? They'll send you this person where the sex is unreal, so good, and it's someone who's like texting you good morning, something I've never really experienced before, and then it's a couple weeks go by, and all of a sudden you're like teetering on the precipice of a relationship with this person, and you're almost ready to like go take the plunge, go for it, and then you start thinking about it and you realize he only wears Sons of Anarchy graphic t-shirts. He says correctamundo constantly. Unironically. Constantly. Well, Lucyana, it seems the monkey's paw has sunned you once again. You gotta throw up your hands. I don't know. Dating leaves me kind of cold. It feels to me that the modern courtship experience is kind of just like about scraping every corner of your friend group, right? Looking for anybody who doesn't taste like pennies and will ask you a single question about your life. And then once you find them, just like projecting onto them until one of you gets bored or dies. Where's the magic in that, you know? And maybe that sounds cynical to you, but for me, my life is sort of dominated by this perhaps irrational fear that I will meet somebody and I will fall in love. My therapist always says that every pot has its lid, and I'll find my lid. And it's a Yiddish saying. I will find my lid and fall in love and really, truly, for the first time in my life, feel like I see and really know somebody and that I am seen and known by them in turn, right? Like I form a trust. I feel like I have found someone who speaks my highly specific language. And a couple years will pass and I am happy. Maybe we fight sometimes, but it's always resolved. And then it's our anniversary and he goes, I'm taking you somewhere special. And then the blindfold comes off and you're in an immersive escape the room experience. Abject! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Somebody that you really thought loved you actually misunderstood you so profoundly that he took you to an immersive escape the room experience, and you're standing there in this fake library with this other couple you don't know, who is making an absolute meal of the experience, okay? Rising to a level of teamwork they didn't know they could, and there's like a teenager moderating the room in like a cape who can sense the tension and is giving you like pity clues, and the person you really thought loved you is like scrabbling around on the floor for a clue he can't find. In the meantime, like you're standing in front of this bookshelf trying to yell like, the key is in the book with a lock on its cover, you fucking thumbtacks. And nothing comes out because the slack bag of your body is filling with a scream that could level the building. Ugh, sick! How sick is that? How twisted, right? The idea that like you can like specifically, explicitly, as thoroughly as possible try to tell someone who you are and they would just never really know. Like that, like you can't know anybody. Like you can't, like love is just like looking in a bad mirror. Are you kidding? Oh, God, I mean, sorry. Wait, I have a lot more material on this, but I don't think we have time. Fuck. Oh, God. Yeah, no. Big birds versus little birds, we can't do that. We don't have time for that. That's its own show. Although I will say, who would win? Little birds. There's a lot more of them. I don't know. This all sounds cynical. I know. And I do want to clarify, I believe in love. I think it might happen for me. I just think I've had to like narrow my criteria. I've had to narrow my scope. And I've decided on my line. Like I've decided on the hill I'll die on, which is that like I will never share my life with anybody who cannot perform a perfect sleight of hand illusion. Okay? And I am not talking about some like kiddie first grade quarter trick you pick off the beginner shelf at the magic shop, all right? I am talking not about like, oh, is this your card? Like, I am talking about an artist of the impossible, okay? I am talking about someone who can perform an act of illusion with such dexterity that I feel I understand that there might be a world of interlocking mystery I will never be able to fully access, but I might be able to glimpse, right? Like, I'm talking the kind of act where like, even if if you were to explain to me exactly how it worked, I would watch you do it, and the sheer craft of what you were doing would still make my stomach drop away and make me feel like perhaps there was something else I could find one day if I tried. You know? Like, go Copperfield or go home. I will accept nothing less. Sorry, I got a little Aggie there. I don't know. Sue me, right? I want to live in a world where magic is possible. I try very hard, okay? I spend so much time, like, just, like, wringing the sublime out of a world where I have to eat 3 times a day, which is, like, bullshit to me. It's so exhausting. Like, if you had a car you had to fill up 3 times a day, you couldn't sell that bitch for parts, okay? Like, you have to do so much just to, like, live a life of the mind in reality. Like, you have to bathe all the time. You just have to, like, stand in the hot rain for, like, however long it takes to get the gum out of your hair. Ugh. And yes, there's always gum in my hair. I keep screaming before I'm done blowing the bubble. I don't know. It's bullshit to me. Like, it's bullshit till it's taxing, right? To, like, try to, like, constantly be looking for the exquisite in a world where you have to just, like, have all your stuff with you all the time. And the only sensible way to have it all with you is, like, in a backpack. Like, do I look like I am comfortable in a backpack? Please, I was built with sibilance. Like, I was built only to have, like, a little bitchy bag in the crook of my elbow that, like, my hand upturned in a lotus-like slump. Like, that is what I was made for, and it just drives me crazy. It's such an indignity that to have a brain, I have to drag it around in this body in the world. And, like, here's the thing, is, like, my body, I don't know how it works. I don't get it. Like, I have been 5'11" since I was 12 years old, and you would think that, like, 13 years would be, like, long enough to figure out how big I am and how to navigate that in the world. It hasn't been. I move like a fucking insane person. I never know where a single limb is, and I walk so fast. And you might, yeah, I know you're thinking, like, hey, welcome to New York. Everyone walks fast here. Not like this. Not like this. It's psychotic, okay? I'm red rovering couples on the street. Like I recently was walking somewhere really absorbed in my ideas, and I thought I was walking like a normal, perhaps even a slow pace, a casual stroll, until an old man cried, "Whoa there!" And I realized that from the outside, right, like in reality, I was storming down the street like I was a fucking wild, untamable stallion, okay? Just like leaving trails of peasants in my wake every which way. Like it's not great. It's not great. And it just like living this way exhausts me. Don't worry. I don't know. Living in the world, I feel like is so mundane. It's so boring. It just like takes so much work. And I just like, I constantly am like seeking a way to feel different. Just to like feel something. I'll be able to sort the input. And this is my way of telling you that I'm off the wagon. Sorry. Back doing the devil's dance with my problem liquid. Sort of like locked in the eternal embrace of doomed lovers with energy drinks. Do we know about energy drinks here? Does anyone here like an energy drink?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Okay, I'm glad I have some kinship in this room because a lot of times when you talk about it, people are like, boo, hiss, like, how base, like, how vile, like, how dare you, like, you're pickling your insides, which is like a valid point. But for me, an energy drink is like, I fuck with potions. Like, I want to imbibe science, you know? I love energy drinks. I think it's so amazing that there are, like, people out there that we don't know, but their whole life's work is to create these, like, little decoctions that change us into a computer. And not only to do that, but to do it in flavors like red hell, like frozen bombsicle, Miami cola. Like, what is that? You know, I love it so much. I feel like, has anyone here ever had a C4? No? That's fine. I know why. It's because they should card for it. It's an energy drink that every deli I've ever been to keeps it on like the bottom shelf and not even in the refrigerator. Like they don't want people to buy it because it feels so good. C4 is an energy drink where on the side of the can it says, after drinking a C4, you may experience a slight tingling sensation. Don't worry. Don't worry. That just means our proprietary beta-alanine carnosine complex is doing what it's supposed to. And you might think, well, that's just marketing. No, it's not. C4 provides for you this, like, it starts at your head and it creeps to your tailbone. This, like, intense, it's like icicles in every pore. It's so good. I will never forget the first time I felt it, because it was like, I had never, like, how rare is it as an adult to have a sensation you have never felt anything like before? Oh, so good. I love an energy drink, because an energy drink, here's what it does. It provides you with the ability to pick one thought out of the torrent and think it. For me, that's everything, okay? I love an energy drink. And the other thing I love, I actually do have one here. The director makes sure I have one. Because it's a sugar-free Red Bull. That's what I've been on lately. Because for me, what I love about a sugar-free Red Bull is it just, like, completely alters your environment. Like, if you've ever been in like a small room with the door closed and you've opened a sugar-free Red Bull, you know that it just changes the air, right? It, like, becomes heavy, and you're just like, ooh, something weird is happening. It just, like, and you have one sip, and it's just like, wait, I'll do it. Wait. It's just like you're like one of many dissolute aliens chewing powerful yellow gum. I love it. I don't care if that's funny or not. It is genuinely how it feels. I love an energy drink. And again, like, some people think it's gross. And all I want to say is that, like, it is the harm reduction, okay? It is, I think, my reward for not ever trying meth, because I would be so good at doing meth. I would discover a new particle every day, okay? I don't do meth. I don't really do a lot of drugs, again, because I love to feel different so bad that if I, like, found more ways to feel different, I would go off the deep end, you know, like, and I would never do Molly, because it's just like how you cosplay, like, a manic episode. But I do smoke a lot of weed. I smoke a lot of weed. I like weed with an energy drink. I think of it as like the gas station speedball. A baby Belushi. That joke bums people out. I love weed. The big problem with it these days for me is, like, okay, I really miss the weed you smoked in high school, right? Where you could just, like, smoke a full fucking hay bale of that shit and the worst thing that happened to you was nothing. Because weed in many places is legalized. Like, you can go to Massachusetts and there are just, like, a million, like, they look like Apple stores, like, just on one exit off the highway. And you go in and someone you smoked salvia with in high school will hand you a jar of what they're saying is a plant, but it looks a lot more like rare geodes from the ground. And you have one hit and you're in fucking Mordor, right? Like, all your teeth are loose and you're just like, do you ever get a little aggy because the bud's too good? Like, a little distressed, right? Because, like, I just, like, hate this weed where it's, like, Tuesday night and, like, you have no idea whether you're gonna be able to, like, relax, right? Like, watch a TV show without hating it, or you'll just sort of find yourself trapped in this, like, stone labyrinth, right? Where every dead end is hung with an oil painting of a time you stressed someone out in a social situation by being yourself. Abject. I hate that shit. I hate that shit. Because here's the thing, is that, like, Lucyana culture, this is what it is, right? It's like, this is my sensibility. It's Lucyana culture. It's kind of like, it permeates a room. I don't know if you noticed, I have a very strong point of view, and it gets everywhere. It gets everywhere. It's thick. It's sticky. It's like, there's like an active biome. Okay, it's like a probiotic yogurt drink. That's why I call it Lucyana culture. And I would say the defining facet of Lucyana culture is that I can't stop talking because I have so many ideas and I can't not say any of them. For me, and it's like, this is a great thing. Like, it's fun. Like, we're like really going. We're really going. But I would also say it means I burn all my calories above the neck. I would say it also means that like you know what? Like, I don't know, I run my mouth. I run my mouth like one of those fucking Bitcoin servers, okay? It's just like expending indefensible amounts of energy to produce one thin idea. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, my first words were, you know what I think? And the next 450 were a close textual analysis of Goodnight Moon. I don't shut up. I don't stop thinking. And that is sort of also can make me weird and erratic. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. It can make me weird and erratic. It can make it very hard to keep track of your ideas because the fantasy cuts both ways, right? Like, Lucyana culture is like really fun and very exquisite, but it can be very abject at times. Like I don't know how other people experience the world. I can't. So I never know if, like, when I try to explain how I experience the world to people, if it's like extremely alienating or stating the obvious. But for me, in my experience, being alive is a very intense experience, like because I can't stop talking, but I also can't, that is because I can't stop thinking. The highway from my brain to my mouth is very short, basically an exit. Like, you guys know about racing thoughts? You ever heard about racing thoughts? NASCAR, okay? Dizzying loops at unsafe speeds. And I don't mean to sound like I think I'm some genius. Like, I'm not a scholar. I dropped out of college after less than a semester because I found homework so disrespectful. I'm not talking about anything important. I'm not thinking about anything important, okay? It's like I'll just like be sitting and like eating lunch, and then I look up, my lunch break's almost over. I've spent 45 minutes just like really like writing a mental dissertation about how King of the Hill, the animated program, is the only good art America has produced in the last century. Again, that's an opinion. I never know. I have until I said it, but I would die on that hill. I think fast. I think hard. It's sometimes I feel as though walking around in the world just trying to process what's going on is sort of like, do you ever drive in like a shitty car and every radio station starts playing at once? And it's like the most overstimulating, horrifying experience of your life, and you're tuning and you're tuning and you're tuning, but you can't pick one out. Ugh, that's what it's like. I don't know. Like, there's no world in which a person can happen to themselves this fast, this relentlessly, without the brake line starting to fray. Like, you cannot overclock an elite gaming PC for 26 years without like some glitches happening. And I would say I do glitch out. I sometimes I'll be standing at a house party, like a casual situation with some people, and I'll be talking, and then I realize everyone is looking at me in a way I at this point know means I had to stop, make sure I'm not starting a weird new religion on accident. That has been a problem in the past. This is just like, I don't know, this isn't even really stand-up. This is just like what I'm like. Like, I will say some people in this room, I don't leave this energy on stage. Like, this is just like what I'm like at the grocery store, like trying to merge on the highway, everywhere. Like specificity is all well and good, but the corollary of that is that the more specific you are, the more difficult it becomes to be just like regular about stuff, right? Like, the more specific, the more like in the world you are, the more heartbreaking it is to make eye contact, right, with a woman on the subway stairs struggling with a stroller. And the reason you're making eye contact is because you are desperately trying to communicate the reason you're walking past her is not because you don't care, but because you know you would only make the situation worse. I want your baby to stay safe, and I will not contribute to that result, you know? And that's like, that sucks, because it's like, it's all well and good, like, I am who I am and I accept that, but like, it would be nice to be like, at times, a little less of a force and a little more of like a regular fucking person, a little more capable, because the fantasy cuts both ways. Like, Lucyana culture really cuts both ways. It is as much about like a single exquisite bloom in a cut glass vase as it is about like deciding you have bed bugs for no reason and staying awake 24 hours a day, dawn to dusk, for several days in a row on a mattress you've stripped bare, lying there fully nude in the dark, one hand on the light switch, waiting for the slightest tickle so you can turn the light switch on, flood whatever is eating you with the light of truth, confront it, make it look you in the eye, and doing this until you are fully reduced to like a river hag. Like, you are fully like, you have an eye twitch even strangers are noticing and calling you out on. Like, and after a couple of days of like being crazed, you are forced to accept what was always true, which is that you do not have bed bugs. You never had bed bugs. You just had psychosomatic hives and crumbs in your bed. And that's all it took for your brain to eat itself alive for a week. The fantasy cuts both ways, you know? Like, I can be weird and erratic at times. I have a lot of weird beliefs. I have a lot, like, if you think I've detailed some beliefs tonight, you don't fucking know. Like, you have no idea. It is like, if 4 things had gone different in my life, my name would have been in a Cult Siege headline, like, years ago, you know? A weird belief that I have that is like maybe one of the fundamental bedrocks of my psyche, one that I do not talk to people a lot about because they either like think I'm kidding or feel worried. I have always believed since childhood that there is a hider in my house. There is a hider in my house. What do I mean by that? I mean that there is a little guy in my house. He's always been there, and he's there, he lives there, and I don't know he's there, or if I know he's there, I don't know where. He's scurrying around in the walls, he's hiding in the cupboards, he's under the bed, he's behind the shower curtain. I don't know anything about him. I don't know his intentions. I don't know his habits. All I know is that he is small, he is cunning, his skin is leathery, and he is watching me. This is not stand-up. This is true. This is just the truth. I would say, and I have on a few occasions talked to people about this, and they kind of seem to think that I'm talking about like a man, like a human guy who's like in my house like to rape or murder me or like smell my clothes. But that's absolutely not. No. The closest reference point I have for civilians is like, do you know about Dobby? Do you know about like Gollum, Rumpelstiltskin, the general category of hobgoblin? That's not quite what it is, but like I feel like that's the closest I can get for you. There's a hider in my house. There's always been a hider in my house. That's not my fault, okay? It's just true. And this is what I mean when I say that the fantasy cuts both ways, okay? I am absorbed by this idea. He's lived at every house I've ever had. We literally don't have time for that either. I would say if I had my scruples, this show would be 3 hours long. And it's definitely longer than an hour. The fantasy cuts both ways. And this is Lucyana culture that you're witnessing right now. Is it fun? Do you like it? You like it? Yeah, it is fun. It's like big, it's loud, I'm a million feet tall, I can't shut up for love or money, you know. After years of intense and expensive coaching, I've still never managed to figure out how to whisper. I am a chronic projector. Yes. It is fast, it's loud, it's fun. I'm like wearing 13 pounds of tulle just to like take horses to task. Like, is it like that? Absolument. All the time. Like just for that to be your life, every single place, every single day. Is that sustainable? Absolute not. Do I have both hands on the wheel fully in terms of my actions and the things I say? Je ne sais pas. I don't know. It depends on the day, right? I don't know. It's I would sort of compare my mindset, my baseline energy, to like a late stage game of Jenga. Do we know Jenga here, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's favorite game of edging. You know, the game where it's just sort of like a teetering tower of hubris climbing ever higher despite an increasingly shaky foundation because we're having fun. We want to see how close to the sun Icarus can fly. And what happened? Well, Jenga is great. It's fabulous. It's all the energy. It's growing. It's growing. It's growing. I have so many ideas. I'm pitching a lot of new twists to old classics on to people on the street that I don't know. You know, here like what if we made an anchovy that was big like a man? Could feed the whole family. I know that's a problem in our world. Or like I'm just like digging a lot of big holes in my yard to get strong. I'm like reading a lot of books. You wouldn't believe. Haven't gotten to page 18 of any of them because 17, very oppressive number right now. I'm booking tickets for flights I couldn't get on if I tried. I am, you know, my paycheck hits Friday mornings, a direct deposit, and by 8 a.m. it's gone. It's in the pocket of the proprietor of an Etsy store called Pennywise Supply. Because I've had this revelation that my new style narrative is going to be rodeo clown with a touch of Renaissance fair. It's Jenga! It's so fun! It's a game like my life. But what natural law are we ignoring, right? What happens with Jenga? What goes up? You wiggle one block a little bit, yes. And the whole thing just sort of comes crashing down. And then where am I? Fumbling in the wreckage. Yeah, I'm not wearing socks or underwear for a whole month because the lights at the laundromat are too bright. I'm a frequent customer of Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen, and I'm walking in 10 minutes before they close, really chatting the employees up, making a Louisiana Purchase, which, if you don't know, is a historically inaccurate meal deal wherein you can get 10 pieces of chicken, spicy or regular, 3 large sides, 5 biscuits, and 3 fountain drinks. And I'll tell you, I have the best of intentions for that Louisiana Purchase, but it will rot on my bedside table for weeks, untouched, because all food tastes like sand, and it always will. I'm getting to the Metropolitan Museum of Art right when they open, and I am sitting in front of a lesser-known Caravaggio until they close, mumble singing the words to 90 in Luft Balloon, because it's the only music that doesn't feel like fucking poison, right? Right? 99, c'est Luft Balloon, horizon, like, it's Jenga. I've ruined a lot of game nights, right, by crashing spectacularly. If you're good at subtext, and I'm sure you guys are, given the neighborhood. If you're good at subtext, congratulations, Sherlock. I am mental, mentally ill. You can collect your Peabody at the door for that fucking scoop, okay? Really exclusive. I'm mentally ill. It's okay. I forgive you. I'm mentally ill, and can I just say, oh, that's so boring. It's so pedestrian. It's so annoying. Call me crazy, but being mentally ill, my least favorite of my personal qualities, by far. Because being mentally ill, first of all, it's like the language of it, like the clinical language of diagnosis. I hate it. Like mentally ill, like the oppressive trenches of those double L's, right? Like Lucyana Randall is mentally ill. It feels like it's like wearing cement boots in the river, man. It's awful. Like, I know that, like, hysteria is, like, sexist and, like, Woody Allen took neurotic away from the rest of us. But I feel like there's at least a certain glamour to being, like, neurotic or, like, afflicted with hysteria. Like, for me, I'm just, like the word bipolar, like, it's disgusting, it's ugly, it's common, it's imprecise. Like, in my mind, bipolar feels just like it's like being smothered by, like, a stale outdoor throw pillow. I hate it. I don't like using it. I'm mentally ill. It's so annoying. I just, like I'm a very observable person, right? I'm a highly observable condition. I walk into a room and, like, there I am. I'm wearing an outfit that screams, "Have you noticed?" Like, I fucking hate it. And I think what it is just, like, this is the one thing I wish, like, wasn't so, like, on its face obvious. Like, it really feels like people meet me and most of them can, like, immediately point to what page in the DSM-5 I am located on, right? It's like a chunky J. Crew statement necklace you cannot take off. And I have style. I care a lot about curating what I've got on. I fucking hate it. And I just do want to say, like, mental illness these days very much in the conversation, right? And I just do want to specify, I'm not speaking to anybody else's journey. This is my personal experience. And I'm, it does have some cultural currency right now. I understand that I can't really relate to that, but, like, if you feel proud of it, go with God. I wish I knew what you did. But I'm glad the conversation is happening. Like, when I see, like, a sponsored Instagram post by, like, a sad girl influencer named, like, @KilviaPlath420, like, it's like it's like Lexapro Princess Starter Pack, and it's, like, sponsored by BetterHelp. Like, there's a promo code for it at the bottom. I'm like, honestly, good. Like, if that helps even one person to talk to, like, an aged up, like, smarter child chatbot they just, like, fed a cognitive behavioral therapy workbook, like, if that helps even one person feel, like, alleviated in the psychic pain, like, they feel every day, that is a net good, right? Mm-hmm. For them. But for me, in my life, I'm fucking sick of it, okay? I think reality is ordered in threes, and so it drives me crazy that my whole life is just about 2 different ways to be, right? And it's like, I understand that, like, there is, like, a certain glamour to, like, the self-style, like, manic depressive, right? Like, it's like, ooh, happy mask, sad mask, like, high highs, low lows, like, peaks, valleys, Everest, Marianas Trench. But here's all I'll tell you, when you are James Cameron in that bitch, deep down in the deeps, there's nothing fun about it. There's nothing cool, because here's the thing is, no one cares. Like, no one cares that you went down there in your little submarine and, like, took a bunch of underexposed photos of, like, whatever rotted shit you found down there, because you have obligations the world is waiting on, okay? We still haven't seen Avatars 2 through 6. Is this like, do we remember when James Cameron went to the Marianas Trench? This is something that I think about constantly, but I've noticed people don't know about. James Cameron, the director of Avatar, got them to build him like a special little submarine, and he just like went down there for no reason. And that's what it feels like. It's not cool at all. It's like making that reference isn't cool because like it doesn't feel cool. I really don't like that this is like that I'm just like stuck constantly, like all I do is like harp on the same like 2 toxic loops, you know? Like, and it's been like, I don't know. I just like would rather spend like I would rather vote for Hillary Clinton in every single election for the rest of my lifetime, including midterms. I'll write her in. Than I would to just like spend one more second in therapy being like, it feels like my brain is full of hungry mice, and my ability to see good in myself is the cheese. You know? Yeah. Don't worry. Okay, calm down. I am in therapy. Chill out. Like every time I say that, I feel like a wash of carbon dioxide in the room. Like everyone just like breathing a sigh of relief. Like, yes, this person's in treatment. I am. Well, I called him a therapist. I don't like calling him my therapist. I call him my doctor, okay? Because I have more respect than that. I see a Jungian analyst. I see an old man because I realized a long time ago if I see a young person or a woman, I'll just lie. All I'll do in that session is lie. Couldn't tell you why. It's on the to-do list, but we have a lot more to work through before we get to that. I see an old man. I see an old guy. I like that. I just like feel like I don't take my mental health seriously unless I feel like I'm going to the principal's office once a week, right? I see this old Jewish guy on the Upper East Side. It's like a very New Yorker cartoon setup, right? Like with the couch and everything. And what I love about him is that it's like this guy is like has so many degrees. He's like in his 60s. He has seen it all, and it's his whole job just to keep track of all my crushes, right? This man has lived so much life, met so many deeply fucked up people, and like I still like I can like say a name and he'll be like, right, so is this the accountant or no? This is the one who reminds you of your father. Never seen the man take a note. He must have a spreadsheet or something. Like, what I do in our sessions is like, there's the couch, but I don't lie down on the couch. That's the only difference. Is I'm allergic to being comfortable. Like if I wear sweatpants, it's over my jeans, you know? I don't want to feel good. What I do is I sit ramrod straight, right? And I don't look at him. He sits here. And I don't look at him. What I do is I free associate. He barely speaks because I think within a minute of meeting me, he realized that if you leave a second of silence, I'll just start digging my own grave. I can't shut up. I sit ramrod straight. I don't look at him. I just like monologue, right? And I stare at this bookcase that he has here. And I just move my eyes in sequence. I start at Memories, Dreams, Reflections by Carl Jung. And I talk about like, I don't know, whatever, how annoying open mics are. And I move my eyes across and down and back across and back until I stop at a big red volume called Soul Murder, a domestic violence primer. And then I stop and I mug for effect, right? Because I'm very dramatic. And then I turn back and I start again. And this has worked for us. It's been 5 years. And what I really love about him, like I said, he doesn't speak. He barely speaks. He doesn't say a word. All he does is like, I'll be talking and talking and talking, and then he'll stop me like 5 minutes before the session is over, and he'll drop this like truth bomb, right? Like he'll just like out of nowhere be like, well, it seems like you attract and perhaps are even attracted to incompetent partners. Gotta take a minute on that one. Well, sometimes I wonder if you fear success and failure in equal measure, because either result would mean you had misjudged your own intellect. Do you ever wonder, and sometimes I perhaps have a theory that your suicide attempt was motivated by this like intrinsic neurotic fear you have that your life has been girded by prophecy? Oh my God, yes! Yes, of course it is! Are you kidding me? I have been sitting here talking about an email I am too scared to send for 20 minutes. And you have had this succinct revelation in your back pocket the whole goddamn time? Are you fucking kidding me? Share with the class, man. This is my life. Sorry, trigger warning. Trigger warning. I do want to give anybody who wants to leave, anybody who this might bother, the space to go, because I will say I dropped that like Suey stuff very casually, and in my mind, like I don't know, no one's leaving in that. I figured as much because like, oh, none of that. I figured as much because like right now in the culture, right, I feel like we're kind of like hoovering up media that makes us feel less alone, right? About wishing the cage of our bodies weren't all that kept us from infinity. Right? Like, I don't know. It's like we're in the pandemic. It's like after the last couple of years, after like being alone in your house all the time, I feel like there's probably like only a handful of people in this room who haven't found themselves at some point like licking the yellow wallpaper, right? Just like desperately wishing there was like any way to check out from the Hotel California of the mind. Like, it's hard. It's a lot to be anybody, right? Like, you don't get to leave unless you're sleeping or dead. And for me, sleeping, not a calm experience, okay? The dreams I have are not fun. Like, I don't watch scary movies because I really don't need help. I don't need any inspiration. I once watched the trailer for It, and it haunted me for weeks. And I didn't even look, I was looking down and away. Like, I just heard it. I like last night I had this dream where Nancy Pelosi was right. She was like holding my face in the pilot light of this hot air balloon that was made of dripping meat that was shaped like Marge Simpson. And she was holding my face in the flame, just chanting, "In great daughter, in great daughter," right? And then my whole face just dropped to the earth below. Like, that's what we're talking. Yeah. Again, not stand up, just me, Lucyana, communicating my experience to you. Yes, I have tried to kill myself. Sorry. And you know what? Frankly speaking, can't remember a time where I didn't want to. Sorry. Since I was a kid. And, you know, maybe this is partially, I wasn't like a calm or normal child, right? Like, I was the kind of kid who, like, at recess was always trying to get a game of Primeval Gods started, you know? Where it's like, you go, "How's school going, Lucy?" And I would just snap around and be like, "Did you know there's so many mysteries underground?" Like, I don't know. I mean, it was on the back burner for most of my life, but it was always there, this idea of, like, that's an option, and if I'm gonna go, why not have control? Like, I remember being, like, again, I've been 5'11" since I was 12 years old, and I can distinctly remember reaching my full height, going into our bathroom and being like, fuck, now the bathtub's too small to kill yourself in. Gotta figure out another way. You know, I spent a lot of time thinking about it. I did conclude very early that the easiest, or like I would say the best way to do it is to drown in freezing water, right? Like, just like fill your pockets with stones and wolf the fuck off into the sea. The ultimate polar plunge. That's dark. I don't know. Maybe part of this is that I was a very explosive child. And I use that language. I know that I was an explosive child because of how, when I was very young, my grandmother mailed a book to my mother called Your Explosive Child. And what was on the cover was a very sad little boy with a very round head, and at the top of his head was a wick that was very close to detonation. And what my grandmother sort of misjudged is that my mother is a very hot woman. And so the only book she's ever read is every single issue of Us Weekly ever published. I say that, the copy being, that was like until last year when she realized you could Google large print ebooks like Gone Girl. She's not a literate woman, and so what that means is the only person who actually read Your Explosive Child was the titular bomb. And I'll tell you, I remember reading that book and being like, damn, they nailed me top to bottom. They got it. Well, if this is gonna be your life, you might as well get an escape pod ready. Like, I was a very explosive child. I was. I don't know really how to describe it. The thing is, like, I've always been agitated, right? I don't know if you've noticed. I've always been very agitated in a way that feels very physical, and I am still agitated to this day, but it was like being like this when you're a child and you just, like, you have no money and you can't do drugs and you can't fuck a stranger to burn off the energy because you are 8 years old. Like, what else are you gonna do but think about how it could end, you know? I was like, I've always had very racing thoughts, and I've always had a lot of, now as an adult, I have a lot of words to say them with, right? I talk like I swallowed a fucking thesaurus. But at the time, it was just like, it bottlenecks at your mouth when you don't have enough words, and there's just like, every idea feels urgent, and you can't even pick one out to tell someone. And I just like, it feels physical. It like would physically hurt me. Like I even now still feel it, but as a child it was very intense. It was like this feeling of every idea, right, just building up, and just like pressing up under your skin. And there was nowhere for it to go, and it was like a deeply painful experience. It was like vibrating all the time. I felt like I didn't realize this until, again, I became an adult, but the way I felt as a child was sort of like how I imagine, like, you know, the most apocalyptically strong setting on a Hitachi magic wand? right? Do we know about the Hitachi Magic Wand here? It's a vibrator that plugs into the wall. It sounds like a lawnmower, and it is manufactured by a company that makes motorcycle engines and that vibrator. And that's what it felt like. Like there was just like, as a kid, there was just like something I could not fucking burn off, and it hurt. Like it was just like I was so overstimulated by the world, and I felt like I was overstimulated on the outside and on the inside, and there was just like no way to go. Like just like it hurt, like not being able to spit the thing out and make someone fully understand what I was trying to say. And that is why I bit people so constantly. I was a biter as a child, and I don't bite people anymore because when I was young it got so bad to a point where my mother resorted to what I actually to this day believe to be genuinely fantastic parenting, which is that every time I bit someone, and I would bite someone not on a place that wasn't harmful. I would bite people right here, like the meat of the face. I would bite people, and every time I did it, she would take one of my pacifiers, because clearly to this day I'm still stuck in the oral stage. She would take one of my pacifiers, and she would take out her pocket knife and take out the little scissors and just cut it in front of me. And I remember that when she cut the last one, she went, "This is what happens." And I'm telling you, this is not bad parenting. This is very good parenting, even if the effects remain to this day. I would bite people, and I remember distinctly, because once a biter, always a biter. Just because you don't bite anymore doesn't mean that your urge is not there forever. Like, because I just like... there's just like so much in you, and you're just like, how do I make you understand? And like even now as a full adult, if I'm talking to someone and I'm really trying to communicate something and I feel there is a wall between what I'm saying and what they understand, I feel my teeth start to gnash a little bit. Like I feel my jaw start to work, because in my mind, in my heart, I'm just like, if I could just like sink my teeth into you, I feel I could finally transmit full comprehension. Or like I could get the idea juice right in your bloodstream. But that's not how it works when you're a grown-up. Like that is not how it works. I don't know. I think as a kid, we're really dealing with it tonight. I'm sorry. If we said it was an hour of stand-up, we didn't say there was a half hour at the end about personal issues. I think when I was a kid, I wanted to kill myself. It was not ever about like, I've never been someone who like fantasizes about their funeral or like wonders who would miss them. Like it was never about that for me. In fact, the idea that like if I killed myself, all that would be left was a corpse really bothered me, and it kept me from acting on it for a very long time, because like my body has always been just like the trap. Like I wanted to get out. Like that was what it was about. It wasn't about like dying. It was about escape. It was about the idea of like, there's so much that I feel I'm not able to contain in a way that is so painful. I would love just like a, what is the computer thing, like Control-Alt-Delete, or like a force quit. I would love a force quit. And I think about myself as a computer a lot. I don't understand how computers work. I do want to make that clear. It's a metaphor I use. I've never used one and not felt stressed. Just like myself. I've just like always felt like really fucking like I just want to get like, it's been like a tragedy of my life that I'm just like in here and not like out, like I'm just like dragging around this big bag of milky pudding, and I just like, there's no return on the investment. It's an extraordinary investment, and guess what? I know zero magic, right? I off and on over the years have had a wart on the roof of my mouth that is incurable. It disappears right when I get worried about it, and then goes away, and then comes back right when I forget. Like there is no escaping. Like it is just like, you're just like stuck in here, and I just want to be like out. I've always wanted to just like, because you can't like know anything in here. You literally can't, because you know what is so hard about having a body? It's like everyone can see you. Everyone can see you. Everyone can see you except for you. Isn't that fucking bullshit? Isn't that insane? You can't ever see yourself, and guess what? You can't ever know yourself. You also, if you don't know the outside, you also can't know the inside, because guess what? Inside your body, very dark. You'll never be able to see it. You'll never be able to see it in your life. And I just like, this Red Bull is doing nothing, I have to tell you. Red Bull, honestly, again, I said energy drinks are the harm reduction. Red Bull's the harm reduction. Like, I drink Red Bull, it does nothing, it just makes you feel important. What I really want to be drinking is a 5-hour energy, but every gas station in town knows not to give me one. Because that's when I start delivering prophecies. No, I don't know. I just like, I know you're looking at me. I know you're looking at me, and I can't look away from that, because like I know. Well, all I see, like, when you look at me, is just, like, what I'm fucking scared you see. Like, I just, like, constantly, I dress like this, and it's not fun. It's, like, I like what I'm wearing. It's, like, not style, it's a symptom, okay? It's the single bloodiest front of my war on embodiment. Like, I love this outfit. I hate that you can see it, because all I feel like now that you're looking at me is just like the agony of imagined witness, right? Like that is what fucking sucks about being a person, about being stuck in here, is that only people will ever be like mirrors. Like all you can ever, like you can never really know what someone is thinking, or like never really understand what someone is saying to you, and you can't really ever know that they understand what you're saying. They understand what you're saying, like with like how you look, with how you are, like it sucks that like narcissism really is like the only real mode of existence, right? Like it's fucking heartbreaking for a while, like because the thing is like everyone can see you. I hate that you can see me, and I still want you to look at me. I still want you to look at me, even though I know you look at me and you can't ever know you, right? You can't know me because I can't know you, and I can't ever know if what I'm saying fucking makes sense to you. I can't ever know, and that just like makes me want to get out, okay? Like isn't it so fucked that like we just like are all trapped as just like these little grains of sand on the vast beach of existence, and like there's no way to just be the foam on a cresting wave, right? There's no way to like zoom out and know the totality. You're just chained in here and you're chained in there, and we can't ever fucking talk to each other, because if we speak, all we ever are talking to is ourselves. Like I love to speak. Have you noticed? I love to speak. I can't not say any of it clearly, but I will never know if what I'm saying makes any sense to you at all. I will never know if, like, however desperately I spill my guts on here, like, I never know if it is incoherent or if it makes sense. Like, an incoherency is a lot to risk in front of this many people when your whole thing is a pathological desire to communicate yourself perfectly, you know? It's just like, I just want to like, I hate that I can only talk to myself. I hate that I'm like talking to all of you and I can only talk to myself. And like, do you, like, I want to kill myself. Sure. I wanted to kill myself. Sure. Like, what's the diagnosis? Okay, it is not that I'm fucking bipolar. Okay, that is such bullshit. Okay, my problem is the same problem we all have. It is a universal human condition. It is Plato in the cave. It is the mind-body question. It is the opacity of the soul, right? It is Top Chef Season 8, Dale trying so hard to say really what he feels to Antonia, and just like, and all that comes out is like anger. But you know that what he is feeling hurts him, right? It is the human desire to like be legible, to feel like that perfect flow, right, of comprehension between people, because it's so fucking lonely in here. Like, communication is like a tennis court, right? It's like a game of tennis, but it's a game of tennis where you can only see the net and what comes over on the other side. And I really want to fucking know who I'm playing. Like, I want to see whether it's like some fucking YMCA amateur or if I'm talking to Anna Sharapova. Like, I want to know, and in here I can't. And that just makes me want to fucking die. That like I can't know, and I still have to take a shit every day. So I'm saying all of this, right, to the doctor who's doing my weekly assessment at the psychiatric hospital. And he goes, "Sir," he was Australian, I know. I wouldn't let them practice medicine if I had my druthers, but I was in a situation I had very little control over. He goes, "Sir, it sounds to me like you still really want to kill yourself." Duh. Like, are you even fucking listening to me? Like, who wouldn't? But, like, nice try, okay? I was very careful to outline zero intent or specific ideation. He's like, "Well, in my experience, people who talk like this often want to kill themselves and go on to try again." And I was like, "Yeah, but I won't. Everyone would be so pissed off. It's been made very clear to me that they would be mad." And he was like, "Do you still have plans?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Have you ever heard of electroconvulsive therapy?" And I was like, "Do you mean shock therapy, Dr. Dingo?" And he goes, "Well, that's not the preferred term." And I go, "Have you ever seen the sequel to The Wizard of Oz that they made in the 80s starring the mean girl from The Craft?" And but she was little. And basically what happens is that she won't keep her trap shut about Oz, and Auntie Em thinks she's so whacked the fuck out. She thinks she's so whacked, so they send her to the mental hospital, they shock her like crazy. And then her pet chicken starts talking, right? And they escape from the mental hospital, and they fall in the river, and it takes them to Oz. But Oz is different. It's the future. It is like, there's no water, there's like a mean king, there's like a witch who switches her heads out at will. Jill. She's so beautiful. They bring a couch to life and make it a deer. It's kind of like, but it's like Mad Max out there, to put it in terms you'd understand. He goes, is this a real movie? And I'm like, yes, Disney just doesn't have the balls to give it the re-release it deserves. And then he said, this is deflecting. And then I got shock therapy 3 times a week for a month and a half. It's all really fun with this like bell jar shit until you drop the big zap, right? And then it gets real, and then everyone's like, they still do that? They still do that? Is that safe? Is that did you consent to that? Yes, I did. It's very safe. They still do electroconvulsive therapy. That is what they call it. They rebranded it. I called it shock therapy for shock value. But no, it's called electroconvulsive therapy, ECT. Convulsions, they rebranded because convulsions pull very well with like people teetering on the brink, you know? And basically what happens, it's very safe. Like the public conception very stuck in the 60s. Like Jackie Nix did us no favors with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's. And the way it works is... And I will say, I'm in very good company. Like, it's not like I've never really met anyone else who had it, so I don't know if my experience is alienating or obvious. But a lot of people through history have gotten it, you know, like Princess Leia, Kitty Dukakis, David Foster Wallace, Hemingway, okay, is almost a badge of honor. He was smart. Hemingway got it. The way it works is you basically 3 times a week, you go and you like lie in a bed in a room with 10 other women who are also at the end of their rope. And they one at a time, they wheel you into the room and they knock you out. They go, good night, darling. Or at least that's what my anesthesiologist did every time. And they apply an electrode to either side of your head. And then they administer, once you're under, a series of electric shocks to your brain until you have a grand mal seizure. And then you wake up, you feel like a gently pulsing cloud. And then it almost, going under for me felt like C4. I'll say that. You general anesthesia 3 times a week for a month and a half is like, you become very familiar with the sensation. I've been chasing it ever since. And so you have a seizure, and then after enough of that, like eventually you just like fucking knock it off. You just like stop wanting to kill yourself. You cut it out with the suicide stuff. It's amazing. Like years of loved ones begging me to like believe that life was worth living, and it turns out all it took to make me be like, I guess I see your point, was like roughly 15 seizures. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. Like they don't know how it works either. They've been shocking people for like a couple of centuries, still haven't figured it out. They just fucked around, found out, and kept going. Like electroconvulsive therapy, it works. It saved my life. I will say that. It saved my life. And the only thing that is keeping me from giving it a 5 out of 5 star review on Yelp is a side effect that they don't put a very fine point on. Like most of the literature about ECT will tell you, like, aside from effects on the brain, the risks of ECT are generally limited to those of general anesthesia. And I don't know if any smarty pants in the room have identified the operative clause there, but it is aside from effects on the brain, which is sort of like the whole reason you got it. And that's very vague. And what they're talking about when they say, aside from effects on the brain, is the tendency of electroconvulsive therapy to completely decimate your short-term memory. Like full Swiss cheese brain. You can't remember a goddamn thing. You can't remember what movie you saw yesterday, which is how I saw Baby Driver 3 weeks in a row in the theater. And I still, to this day, don't know what it was about. Like, no idea. And just no one had the heart to tell me we'd seen it already. Like, it's hard. And it was tough for me because, like, I lost a lot of words. Like, I stopped being able to, like, remember the words for things. You'd be like, can I have it? Can I have the thing? And it's just like the channel changer. And then it turns out it's not even what people call it. No, ECT really ruined my short-term memory. I would compare the experience to sort of like 50 First Dates, right? But less interesting and like less dubious in terms of consent, like, because I did agree to it. And the thing about, so they don't know how it works, right? Electroconvulsive therapy, but it does ruin your short-term memory. I really don't remember most of like the year, I would say like 6 months before I got the treatment, and the summer I got the treatment. I feel like I didn't start forming new memories really, because you stop forming new memories. I didn't really start forming new memories until like maybe a month or so after the treatment. And the crazy thing, so here's my theory about how it works. Can you tell I have a lot of theories? I'll come up with them about anything. My theory is that the way it works is that you forget what it was like to be sick. Awesome. Because that seems like it sucked. But the thing about forgetting what it was like to be sick is you also, this is crazy, you forget sort of who you were when you were sick and also before. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever spent like a year that is covered in fog and then it lifts and you're nobody? You just like don't know who you are? This is the part that's not funny. Welcome to my show. My name's Lucyana. This is all bullshit. I didn't like that. I didn't like doing that either. Yeah, that is the side effects. Yeah, so I don't know. You just like come out of it somebody else, and that's like a bizarre experience. The medical term for it is depersonalization, derealization, dissociation, long-term fugue state, whatever the fuck it is. All it means is that like I woke up one day, went to brush my teeth, looked in the mirror, and I was like, wait a second. I've never met you. And I don't remember what happened yesterday or if I knew you yesterday. I was nobody. This is the one phenomenon that will drive me crazy for the rest of my life because I will never be able to describe how it feels. It was like getting downloaded into someone else's body and just like the program reboots in your Kyle XY. I don't know if that's like a reference that's for everybody. It's sort of like if you were watching ABC Family in 2009, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I just got born. It was crazy. It was like are you really gonna get up now? It's fine. I'm not mad. Please get a drink. Tip your bartender. The mind disconnected from yourself, right? Everybody knows you but you. You're the only person that knows that Lucy died, and you can't tell anybody because they're so happy she's better and that she chose to live, but you didn't, right? You just got born. It's just like none of it's mine. It was all hers. And I just like had to come back and be like, okay, I'm like the bystander. I'm like, because you still have all your long-term memories. That's what's fucked up. Like they don't know what happens about memory. Like they don't know like what parts of us are stored where. And I feel like with short-term memory, like, you don't really think about how much of your identity is composed of memory until you lose it and you realize that even the memories that didn't feel that important still make you who you are. Like I had to learn everything about myself. I had to be like, come back to New York and be like, okay, I'm Lucy Randall. I have family. I have friends. I am a comedian, even if I don't remember a single joke I've ever told. I work at a thrift store with a rude reputation. Yeah, shout out. There are people who like me, and there are people who don't, and every single one of them has met me more times than me. That's the thing about ECT, right? It's like, I forgot. I remember the logic of wanting to kill myself because that was so long-term, you know, because I still had Lucy's whole life. I still had long-term memory. I still had all her memories of her life before the treatment, before she got sick, but it didn't feel like mine. It felt like looking at something underwater. It felt like a movie you watched when you were stoned, you know, where like, you watched the whole thing and you could tell people what happened, but you absolutely could not remember watching it. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like, it's disconnect. It's like this thing of like, have you ever like blacked out, right, from alcohol at a party, and then you woke up the next morning, you took someone's coat home by accident, right? And it's just like too big. It's way too big, and the buttons are ugly, and it stinks of a perfume you would never in your life put on. It's like the mall. It's like Daisy Marc Jacobs. Like, goddamn. Like I couldn't. And that's the thing is I got what I wanted. Lucy died. Does this make sense? I'm asking, like you. Does this make sense to you? It does? Mm-hmm. Good, because this is the thing I can't spit out. This is the rock in my mouth I've never been able to spit out, and it fucking sucks. It hurts. Like for someone who's just like spent so long tonight just talking and talking and talking to you, trying to like make you understand like what it feels like for me to exist in the world, and like the fact that I've worked on this for so long and I still haven't figured out how to say it, it fucking kills me because like I'm not Lucy. I'm not. I'm Lucyana, and that's on purpose, you know? Because the thing is, like, I got this chance like nobody ever gets, right? I got to start over. The tabula rasa, the great hard reset. And the thing is like, I didn't even do anything good with it. Like, I got to build like a whole personality from scratch, and I didn't even learn any math. I think I had an overwhelming personality before, and it's worse now. Now I just talk the same amount, and I have way more expensive taste. Like I feel like 99% of near-death experiences, people wake up and they're like, and I decided to teach in underprivileged countries. And I woke up and was like, I guess I'm going to spend my life answering to every bizarre women compulsion I ever feel instantly. I'm going to be iconic. That was what I decided. I decided to be this. Isn't that insane? I do think that's funny. I think it's funny that, like, you don't have to laugh, but I do. Because, like, I don't know. You have to do it on purpose. Like, I don't remember what it was like to be sick. I remember the logic, but I do remember what it felt like to, like, wake up a hole, right? And it was devastating. And you know what was really devastating? Was realizing the person that used to be there wasn't coming back. It fucking sucked. It was really hard. Just cleaning up my fucking shit. I'm like this now. I don't know if this is what I was like before, but I do know that it's on purpose. I was no one, but even as a void, even as nobody, I have always had fucking style. I have always known if I like something right when I see it. I have always been able to categorize anything instantly. I have always had opinions, okay? I have always had opinions, because it's out of our control. Being a person's out of your control. Talking this much is out of my control, but I can control whatever I'm like. Because the question of what I can like words can be deadly. You can get real trapped in them. What am I like? You could spend a lifetime on that. And I just, like, I felt bad, so I wanted to feel different, and I did. I felt different. I shot myself into existence. I made Lucyana because, like, I decided to make the whole world my fucking mall. I did it. I did this on purpose. I am wearing all this stuff on purpose because this is just what I wanted to do. It's so important, like, just, like, enact the inner necessity on your external life, right? Like you have something inside, and if you can, like, make it match, right? If you can fulfill that image inside, well, like, that's fucking fun. And I just, like, and I'm not telling you any of this to, like, seem brave or make you feel bad for me, pity me, because I think that sucks. I don't ever want you to think of me as mentally ill, because, again, I'm a very interesting person. Least interesting thing about me, any of this. Like I've been told I'm interesting enough times in both complimentary and extremely pejorative ways that I know no one's Truman showing me. Like, I did this on purpose. You know, you just gotta know what you think and why, and that's all it takes. You just gotta figure out how to organize everything, and you can build a house for yourself to live in. And also, I do want to say, I want to clarify, my real name is Lucyana. Because I'm talking about all this, and it's easy to think I just, like, made that up. Like, but my parents they're both hot, and so they're stupid. So they liked Lucy, they wanted to put something extra on it. Like, Lucyana is my real name, it's on my birth certificate. I did not make it up to get famous. It has great SEO, but that's not my fault. No, but my name's Lucyana. My entire life, never told anyone my name was Lucyana. I went by Lucy exclusively. I fucking hated the name Lucyana because Lucyana sounds exactly like what it is, which is a look at me bitch. Okay, Lucyana is the name of a diva. It's the name of an irrepressible person, and Lucy really fucking wished she could control that. Lucy spent her whole life being followed around by the fact that she couldn't shut up, and that she had, like, that she just said the same things over and over and, like, couldn't figure out if people liked it. And he killed her eventually. And, like, and at a certain point then, after she died, like, there was nothing to do but pick up Lucyana and try to make it work, like, try to make it fit. Like, you know, you get stuck in this body you didn't ask for, at least you can do is, like, enact your will on it, you know? Is that the fundamental pleasure of being alive? Maybe. Pop quiz, is catering to every craven whim and desire the only thing that makes us whole and human? Oh my god, you guys don't have an answer? I've been talking for so long and you haven't absorbed a single part of it. That's insane. Because you have been looking at me and you haven't been listening, like, you haven't been thinking. That's fine, but, like, that's why I have to be like this. Like, that's how I have to be this way. And I didn't want to be, but I had to be. And, like, it's my real name. Or, I don't know. But there are still people who call me Lucy. Even though, like, you know, when I woke up from the fog, like, it felt, every time, like, someone called me Lucy and I answered, it felt like lying. But I didn't really have the heart to tell a lot of them that, because I really didn't want to ask them to have to say goodbye to this person that they were so glad, like, was still alive. Like, There are like a lot of people here tonight who still call me Lucy to this day, and there are a lot of people here tonight who didn't know that it sucked or that it hurt to be called that. There are a lot of people here tonight who maybe now are feeling a little sad that I didn't tell them like 2 syllables like makes a difference to me. And I want to say I'm sorry about that because it feels like I lied to you. And I'm a very good liar. Unfortunately, I feel I've always been very good at like bending the truth to a purpose, although I prefer to think of it as like, you know, convenient fictions, facts I'm not necessarily wedded to. Because it's always just like the same hideous version of a new problem, right? Everyone can see you but you. And this is the part where I've cut the whole ending I did last night. Because I did lie a couple times tonight. Maybe like, I would say like 2.5 times. And again, I don't think there were as much lies as like things that I really needed to believe for a long time. And the first lie that I told you is that my name is Lucyana. And that my name wasn't Lucy, and that's the half lie because I don't think my name is either of those things really. I think that Lucyana is like something I had to build to like survive in the world, like this like big beautiful doll for me to like ride around in because like it felt when I woke up like I had no skin. It felt like being a raw fucking nerve in the world, like it hurt. And so I had to like make something, I had to like figure out what I wanted and make an architecture, like build something to live in. But building Lucyana, like I'm really talking to you right now. I'm really saying something. And like I built Lucyana, but like that doesn't mean I am. It means that like there's Lucy and Lucyana, like there's a gulf between those two names. And I think I like came out of that gulf. Like I don't ever feel like really anybody or like I have a name for what I am. I feel like I'm just like this like, I'm so tall, I'm so big, and I just like still feel like I'm just like this small fucking thing like rattling around inside. Like hiding in a house and just like waiting for someone to come home, you know? Like when people call me Lucy, it doesn't, that's the so we got the half lie. The other lie is that like, this thing of like it hurts when people call me Lucy because that is something that was true for a long time. That is something that was true for a really long time, but it's not anymore. As time goes on, like even like working on this, like even like this past like however fucking long I've been up here, like standing in front of you, like picking at scabs to entertain you, like it doesn't really hurt anymore. It kind of feels nice. It kind of feels like maybe if I can like keep building something, like maybe if I can like make a life that like fits us both, like maybe if I can like figure out like how to stop like just like looking out at this world that I think was so hard for her to live in, and I had to just like do what I could with what she left me, like maybe she might come home. And like maybe, you know, because the reality is ordered in threes, right? 2 opposing forces in a mystery. And if I'm not like Lucy or Lucyana, then like that only leaves one thing for me to be. And I really fucking hate not knowing something. I really want to order the world as much as I can. I want the Encyclopedia Lucianica, and I can't get there like this. But I think if I keep talking about it, if I keep trying to say what I think, I might like find it. This is not written down. This is all. There's nothing on this. All this on this page is unintelligible. I just know. I just know that even if I'm hiding inside of something, I think I could come out if I could figure out how to meet her. And every time someone calls me Lucy, it does feel a little closer. And this is the first time I've ever talked about this without crying. Oh, and the last thing I lied about, cards on the table. That doctor was not Australian. He was French. Abject! Abject! It's my show! It's my show! Do you think I'm gonna, like, give them the satisfaction of doing the accent? Give them the satisfaction of knowing that a Frenchman saved my life? Absolutely fucking not! Lucyana would never! And guess what? No matter what I just said, At the end of the day, I'm up here in front of you, I'm fucking Lucyana. Thank you so much for coming here.